Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supernatural. This time we're on episode 19 of season 15. This is called Inherit the Earth, and last time we had episode 18. Episode 18. 18 comes before 19. Despair, and yeah, we had to say goodbye to a very much a fan favorite and a very long-running character on the show. We had to say goodbye to none other than Misha Collins' Castiel. Castiel brought forth the deal he made with the MT and solidified that and brought that into fruition in order to save Dean from death. People started disappearing. People started disappearing, especially it started off with people from other worlds and resurrect people. We lost Stevie, Charlie's girlfriend. We lost a hunter partner of Bobby's, and we lost Eileen as well. So they thought it was all. So Sam and Dean and Cass thought it was all Death doing it because it was her plan to actually send everyone back to where they belonged. So they went after her, and then Sam and Jack, worked with Donna and Bobby to gather everyone else and keep them all in a confined space where warding would hopefully protect them, but it didn't. And it turned out in the end it was actually Chuck doing it. Chuck had wiped out all the other worlds, and now he was doing the finishing touches in terms of actually wiping out pretty much the entire population of Earth, minus Sam, Dean, and Jack. Castiel, after him and Dean attacked Death, and then she fought back, he figured the only way to save them both, or at least to save Dean from death, was to bring the Empty back. The Empty was pissed after Billy sent in a bombastic jack into its domain and then blew it up and made it all loud. So he brought forth the Empty and then admitted his true happiness. Misha took that script and he canonized DCL. A lot of people, that's how I see it. If you don't, if I think it goes without saying, if you don't see any kind of romantic subtext or thingy to it, more power to you. So some people see them as friends, some people see them as more. I think so long as you don't, go out of your way to break down anyone else's headcanons or fan theories, then it's all good. If you see them as more than friends, it's all good. If you see them as just friends, it's all good. But in my eyes, he canonized DCL. And admitted his love for Dean, and that was the one thing that that actually made him happy. He said, the one thing that makes him happy is the one thing he knows he can't have, especially after having made that deal. He knows that if he ever actually admitted to Dean that he cared about him that much, then that would bring him true happiness. Telling Dean how he felt was what brought him true happiness, making his feelings known, and then the Empty would come up and swoop him and drag him down to super duper uber mega hell and all that kind of stuff. So he brought forth the deal. Castiel gave his life, and he left behind a nice little bloody perdition hand mark on Dean's jacket and everything. So he gave his own life to save Dean. And now everyone else is dead. We saw some shots showing an empty park and an empty gas station. So everyone else on Earth is presumably gone. Now Sam and Dean and Jack are the only ones left. So now it's up to them to defeat God and save the rest of the universe. And I don't know if they can actually reset things to a new multiverse or something, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But that was that. But yeah, Chuck was snapping everyone out of existence as the final stage of his plan before he actually takes on Sam and Dean and Jack. I mean, Sam and Dean, I think he's gonna start over again with them. That's what he's always done. Whenever past versions of them haven't worked out, he's always just started fresh from the drawing board. And this show, the Sam and Dean in this show, in this universe, are the ones that he's actually managed to keep going with season after season, story after story. So I don't know if he wins what he might try and do, but yeah, Chuck is a dick. Chuck is a celestial dick, and he's going to keep celestially dicking around. So they got to stop him. But yeah, Cass is gone. I think it still hasn't quite sunk in. It's been a week. And next week is the series finale. Next week is the official series finale. So it's really saying something when even after a week that scene, that kind of story point, that kind of point in the story hasn't really sunk in to my heart or my mind yet. So yeah, it's just it's something. It's really something. But yeah, this is the penultimate episode. So I'm expecting big things. I'm expecting big things from this episode alone, and then the series finale will just be crash bang kapow, just a banger of an episode. So so we'll see how things go down. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have got in terms of the last episode. So on to episode 19, we have to see exactly. I don't know what else they could do, because Death is gone. Death was taken by the MT, but then I don't know, because I mean, the only way they could get a new Death, I don't know if they'd get a new Death after this, but the only way they could get a new Death is if a Reaper is killed. But no one's out there killing Reapers anymore, so yeah, I don't know what I mean, Jack still has his powers in some way. He has new powers now. He now has powers of like destruction in some sense. He actually killed a plant in that silo, so I don't know what's happened. He exploded, then he felt like he lost his powers, but now his powers are still there now in some sense. So, but now he has the powers of destruction. So I wonder if he can actually go forth and fight Chuck with that, or if he can figure out a way to amplify that. But I don't know. I'm actually I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm watching this first thing in the morning, so I haven't really had much time to think about it or what's happening. But yeah, I don't really know, like, because everyone's dead. Everyone who's not supernatural, everyone who's human and regular is dead. You know, Jack is like Sam and Dina are the exceptions of that, and then Jack's a celestial. Chuck's out there, and he has the power of himself and Amara's power too, so he could do a fresh reboot whenever he wants. But I think he's gonna make Sam and Dean work for it in order to actually see if they really can save the world. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we just have to go forth and find out. So yeah, that was all I've got from the last episode. So on to episode 19. As always, this will be the highlight reel. So if you guys want to catch the full length reaction, you just need your own copy of the episode to sync up, and it'll be good to go. That one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So episode 19. Let's go.
Where's Cass?
Dean?
Oh, and Chuck is watching this all from space. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot of Earth. Has he erased all the other planets to his Earth? The only one left in the universe. Mars, Venus, Neptune, they're all gone. Even the moon is gone. I don't know if you can wake him up from the MT this time, pal. I don't know if that's gonna happen. If you did it again, the MT would just not let him go. He wouldn't let him. The MT wouldn't let him leave. Oh, and yeah, he's destroying plants as he walks by.
I'm kind of enjoying this story now.
You can't.
Dick bag.
No, see? I'm the Almighty. I really can.
Yeah, Dean's using a beer bottle for a pillow on the floor. Jesus. A dog! There's a dog!
Whoa, look at you.
Oh, a
Hey.
doggo!
Wow.
Okay, Chuck's not totally evil, he left a dog
Chuck
behind.
miss you. I guess Chuck didn't get everything.
No, okay, this is
Maybe there's
Chuck
people he
writing.
missed, you know?
This is Chuck writing, yeah. Yeah, no, oh, fuck, yeah, it was too good to be true. Yeah. He gives them hope and then he rips it away. Yeah, he gives them hope and then he rips it all away again, yeah. Okay, that is sadistic. That is sadistic.
Unbelievable.
That is sadistic. So is he like teasing them with other possible survivors and then taking them away at the last second?
You survived.
Who's... Michael's back! Michael's returned! Okay. Okay, that's a good sign,
When the
right?
rapture first began,
That's a good
I took
sign.
refuge here.
And Adam?
Tell me Adam's still in there.
Gone.
Adam's gone? He took out Adam, so
Sorry to say.
it's just a vessel then?
Exterminated by my father, like everyone else.
God
Poor
damn.
bastard never caught a break.
Yeah.
How did the three of you men? When God left heaven, I was certain of his return. So I made sure all the angels and prophets burnished his image on earth.
Ah. So
The
you're responsible
all-knowing,
for all this.
all-seeing. Tell me what you need me to do.
No, this is also hope. This is also hope. Chuck giveth hope, but then he taketh away. This is also too convenient.
What?
What?
Cass?
Dean, I'm here. I'm hurt. Can you let me?
No, again, this is Chuck. Chuck is I don't think I've ever hated Chuck more than this episode. This is hope. This is hope. He giveth and he taketh away.
What's up?
Oh, no.
Wow.
No.
Way to treat a pal.
No. No.
No, you're not our pal.
Okay, be honest with me.
Please.
How is he
Would you
here?
let me in if I said it was really me?
How is he here?
You're dead.
No.
The past.
Do not tell me the writers really just swapped Cass out for Lucifer.
We're a team again, guys.
No.
that is not happening.
Never in a million years.
Yeah.
Never in a million years.
So I did bring a token of good faith.
Castiel?
Voila!
Castiel? No, who's this?
Betty is a reaper.
Yes, we heard you. So what?
Watch.
Oh, is he gonna kill her? Oh, he kills her. She becomes the next death. She becomes the next death. Because death is gone.
Wow. Really?
She becomes the next
Great.
death.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
She becomes death.
Wait for
She
it.
can open the book. She can
Wait
open the
for
book.
I'm good, right?
Can you kill Lucifer now? Can you kill
So
Lucifer
do you
with
have
that?
it?
Wait a second, you're sure about this?
Of course I'm sure. I'm Death.
You've been dead for an hour.
Yeah, it's like fairly recent. But-
Behold. In the end, there is the ending of he who created the beginning.
Fascinating.
And thus it will be.
Lucifer, what the fuck? Lucifer, seriously.
Yeah, Pop was the one who let me out of the empty. I'm sort of the new favorite now. What did Dad say about you? Oh, yeah. Mikey's a cuck.
Kill him, Michael.
You're a cuck.
Kill him, Michael. Blow him up. Explode him, Michael. Explode that devilish grace of his. Oh, red eyes versus white eyes. Oh, Archangel Blade. Okay, it works. It works a second time. It works a second time. There we go. Yeah. Okay, no vessel left behind either. Yeah, because Nick's gone. Nick is dead.
Thanks
So.
for the blade. The God book could be lethal to him, but it's actually fairly useless without death to read it.
Yeah, well. At least it's open.
That's a plus. Although as soon as you
Sam,
pick it up, it's gonna
thought that he
snap
recognized
shut.
Some of the
Like some kind
symbols in the
of
writing.
trap.
Thought they might be some form of.
Chuck's there. Okay, Chuck's in a nice white suit. Well, not so nice white suit. Don't want to compliment him.
That was a lapse of judgment, I admit, but I swear I was.
Oh, he's killing Michael. He's killing Michael. He killed the last archangel in existence.
You know, eternal suffering sounds good on paper, but as a viewing experience, it's just kind of.
Yeah, you're just a terrible
So, we're
writer.
done.
You're a terrible writer.
I'm canceling your show. I can get my hands dirty.
Oh, he's actually gonna beat them up. He's actually gonna beat them up. He's gone. No hand-to-hand combat. Ooh, I gotta say he does. Even leg-to-nuts combat. Ooh. Oh, the arms. The legs.
That's enough.
Oh, yeah, brothers in arms. Brothers in arms. What's Jack Attack got up his sleeves? What tricks you got? Pretend he's the raccoon from Incredibles 2. Yeah, snip, snap, snappity, snap. Whoa.
Well, it turned him into sort of a
Oh,
power
so
vacuum.
that's where he was absorbing
Things
the
are sucking
life.
up bits of power all over the place.
Yeah, he was
so when the
absorbing
two
the-
heavyweights,
ah.
your boys, showed up to duke it out. Oh,
Ah, the power they excreted from that,
Looks
he
like
absorbed
right
it.
up.
He absorbed it.
Jack absorbed it all.
Yeah.
Made him.
well, it made him unstoppable.
Okay, he's a wrecking ball then. He's an absolute wrecking ball. Are they gonna kill him? They're not killing him. They're leaving him powerless.
It's the ending where you grow old, you get sick, and you just die.
So he's human now.
No
He's
one
mortal.
cares.
Yeah.
Guys, wait, please wait, guys.
Who would have thought God himself would crawl through dirt just to get to the Winchesters? Damn. Everyone comes back. Even the free Wi-Fi comes back. Yeah, the Girl Scouts are back. Miracle! The dog is back! He brought the dog back! He brought the dog back!
What if we want to see you? You know, or have a beer or whatever.
I'm around.
He's around.
I'll be in every drop of falling rain, every speck of dust that the wind blows.
He's everywhere. He is the
It's a hell of a
Force.
time to bail.
Yeah, he's the Force. He's
There are
everywhere
a lot
now.
of people counting on you.
I learned from you
Mm-hmm.
and my mother
Mm-hmm.
and Castiel
Mm-hmm.
that when people have to be their best, they can be.
Yeah. Oh god, a new world created and led by Jack. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Goodbye.
He's really just gonna walk away. Is he gonna disappear into thin air now? Oh, he does disappear into thin air. Yeah, if he does disappear, he's like the Force, just being one with the Force. Oh, Jack.
To everyone that we lost along the way.
He brought them back, right? He brought the other people back. Like Jody and Bobby and Charlie. He brought them back, right?
Finally free.
What are they gonna do with their new story? With their new lease on life? Oh, this throwback. This throwback. Oh. Bella Talbot. No, Scooby Natural, yeah. There is one episode after this, right? There's like another finale after this. Yeah, I think there is like another finale after this, but that was a great rundown. Yeah, that was a great rundown. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure there is like another I think I do remember reading somewhere. It wasn't like an official tweet from the show or like the creators or anything. It was like a fan tweet that like a rumor, like not a rumor, like a fan saying that apparently this episode is like the season finale, but the next episode is the actual series finale, the final ever supernatural kind of ending that we get. But yeah, that rundown, geez, yeah, no, that was amazing. That was amazing. Like that is, because we didn't get a Carry On Wayward Son thing. Yeah, finales of Supernatural traditionally come with Carry On Wayward Son montages right in the beginning. We didn't get that in this. We didn't get it in the beginning. We didn't get it in the end. The ending. That was a great rundown. That was a great rundown. I think it would have been better to save that for the actual finale, though. I feel like that could have been saved for the actual finale, but I can simultaneously see why they might choose to use it in this one. But yeah, because that was seeing everything that's gone down over the past 15 seasons. That was great. Abaddon, Crowley, Charlie, Ellen and Joe. Like all the early stories, all the early seasons, all the earliest moments that made the show what it is. That montage was great. But I feel like that's the kind of montage we could have used for the ultimate Carry On Wayward Son in the next finale next week. So yeah, I feel like they could have saved it, but I think seeing it in this too is great. Because I think the message they wanted to send was that now Sam and Dean get like their own freedom back. They get a new lease on life, or whatever they want to do with their lives, they can do it. But now, before we go into the official finale, let's have a look back at what made Supernatural what it was for all these years. So yeah. But yeah, I will say this definitely felt like a season finale. This is the official season finale. It definitely felt like an end to this story, to kind of Chuck's story, and like the ending that Chuck tried to build up and everything. So the whole world was gone. But Chuck wanted this new ending better. He wanted this, initially he wanted this new ending of Sam and Dean just wouldn't give up to begin with. But now that he knows he has an opportunity, he has a chance to see them suffer on a world where they're all alone. Now he somewhat prefers that ending as somewhat more cathartic for himself and everything. So he gave them hope. He constantly gave them hope. I mean, okay, at first the dog killing the dog, that was just sadistic. That was cruel. I felt because of how convenient it was that not only was there another living being on Earth, but it was also like a precious animal. I figured that is way too convenient. That is exactly the kind of setup that Chuck would throw them into, only to take that hope away again, to rip it away. So as soon as the dog vanished, I was like, yeah, that just had to happen. I figured that was coming. So yeah, so he killed the dog. But yeah, he was constantly giving them hope. And then taking it away. Michael returned, and it was great to see Jake Abel back as Michael. But yeah, he was only Michael. Adam had been snapped away. Adam was like another human, another friend of theirs, another member of their family. So he got snapped away, but the vessel was still inhabited by Michael, so Michael still kept that vessel alive and everything. So yeah, so Michael and Lucifer return. Okay, Lucifer's return I did not see coming. Lucifer's return I didn't see coming. Chuck brought him out so that he could get the book. I think because initially I was like, okay, even as a writing point that just feels wrong. Like bring Raphael back. Raphael would be a more tolerable resurrection than Lucifer. Lucifer, you know, it feels like you're just swapping Cass out for Lucifer. That is a terrible swap. That is just like an unnecessary swap. But Lucifer's mission was initially he was sent by God to retrieve the Death Book, and I think, admittedly, he had like a decent plan. He had a decent plan, but bring along a chained up Reaper just to kill her in front of Simon Dean, so then that she would be reborn as Death and she'd have that immediate power. So I mean, it was quick. It was quick too. It was quick. Almost as soon as she died, she woke up again, was unchained by Dean and then headbutted him in the face, and then yeah, she was given like a new kind of decoder ring on the thing, and then she was given like a whole new scythe too. So that was cool. But I do like that, when they asked her if she was sure of God's ending in the book, she was like, yeah, of course I'm sure, I'm dead. And he was like, yeah, you've been dead for an hour, so forgive us if we don't vouch for you almost immediately. Like, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. She's still fairly new to this, but Reapers and Death aren't really too far apart. They still know what the drill is, so... Yeah, but yeah, that was Lucifer's kind of smarty pants plan to bring in a Reaper into the mix and kill her and then make her the new Death. So I'm surprised Sam and Dean forgot about that. I'm surprised that they forgot that, because I think Billy did explain to Dean that what after Castiel killed her, she was the next. She was the first Reaper to die after Death himself was killed, so she became the new one. So I'm surprised, but I think they probably were just shocked at the fact that Lucifer himself actually showed up at their front door and teleported in and did all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad Lucifer wasn't given too much of a big role, because I think, again, Lucifer is not a person we need back, but he was the one chosen by Chuck to do the deed. So that was cool. And I think it was interesting that Michael survived too. Like, he just stayed off of Chuck's radar, I think. Because I mean, you have to wonder if like Chuck wouldn't still take the time to actually banish every living like celestial being that was still on Earth. Because then there must be other angels, there must be other demons doing something. But Michael, he avoided using his powers. He avoided using his powers so that even if Chuck had forgotten that he was there, he wouldn't be reminded that oh, Michael's still out there and everything. So yes, and one thing Michael mentioned really kind of caught my attention, the fact that he when Chuck left heaven initially, because I think to begin with he wasn't around at all. He'd like at the start of the season to God's, from the start of the season to the eventual kind of reveal that heaven, hell, angels, demons, it all exists, it's all real. To that point, God not being around was like a thing that was mentioned, like, oh, God left heaven ages ago, he's nowhere to be found, he's somewhere. So then in that time, Michael then set heaven, so like he sent the angels of heaven to actually brandish the earth with imagery and media of God. So like they create statues and wrote Bibles and put images of him everywhere, like the windows and the chapels and everything. So that kind of caught my attention. Like he like in God's absence, he worked to make sure that God's existence wasn't forgotten by humanity and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if he would have I don't know if he would have made the angels write the Bibles. I think the Bibles were written by man, but I think he did work to actually just brandish the image and the presence of God on Earth, so that people would be reminded, oh, he is out there somewhere. He's just not here right now. So that was his idea of being the good son. Even if Daddy's gone, just remind people Daddy still exists. He's still out there somewhere. So in that extra way, he actually dedicated his life to God, to being the perfect son, to being the good son and everything. So yeah. So then Michael and Lucifer's battle was very, very short-lived. It was very, very brief, but yeah, it was, yeah. I think that is actually one thing I want to see, because I think we didn't get it in season 5 because Dean came along. Otherwise, that apocalypse of Michael versus Lucifer would have actually happened. So I feel like now, with a world they don't have to worry about as much, because no one's there, no one else is there to have to take the blowback of a massive battle. I feel like it could have been cool to see like an actual showdown between Michael and Lucifer, like on like a barren Earth where everyone else has gone and Sam and Dean and Jack are the only ones there. I feel like it would have actually been cool to see what like a battle going down between them would be like. Michael with his sword, Lucifer with his devil's trident or whatever he has and stuff like that. But no, just a few kind of power blasts here and there, and that's it. But it was still cool, and even and their battle was a part of Sam and Dean's plan. Their battle was part of Sam. So Sam and Dean knew that deep down, even if he feels like he's been betrayed by God with all this kind of all these stories having been written and him being controlled, deep down Michael would still instinctively be Daddy's favorite kid and Daddy's loyal son. So he would do anything and everything it takes to actually get back on his good side. So that's why they knew that, especially Lucifer taunting Michael like that, being like, oh, Michael's daddy's cuck and everything. They knew that, he would actually do anything. So they set him up with, somewhat false information to lure him out and to lure Chuck out and to actually get him to do that thing. And also because they knew what was going on with Jack. So Jack, by exploding in the empty and doing all that stuff, he turned into the power vacuum. The spell worked. It just didn't work on Billy. Billy initially was going to be the one to actually take on that power vacuum and absorb the power herself and send everyone back to where they belong. But Jack, being the bomb, he survived and everything. So he became the power vacuum once he came back to Earth. And Billy was taken away, so she had no power left to absorb. So yeah, so that's what his powers were. He wasn't destroying. He wasn't just destroying the plantation or anything like that. He was actively absorbing their life essence. He was absorbing their existence pretty much. That's why everything he walked past, the power kept on getting sucked back into him. And then Sam and Dean noticed that, and they thought, okay, so if we get like 2 or 3 massively celestial beings, archangels and God himself, to somehow to excrete their own power, to actually let go of their own power by using it, then Jack can absorb that power if he's in the vicinity and he can do his own thing. So so it started off with them actually triggering a fight between Lucifer and Michael, so 2 archangels actually actively using their powers, and as the power bolts went by and hit each other, Jack was staring at him, just absorbing the power into him. So that was cool. So Jack absorbed all that power, and then in the final battle with Chuck, Chuck finally decided to get his hands dirty. He finally decided to actually use his fists and feet and everything. And he's God, so he likely had some control over exactly how good he would fight. He's apparently like a basic hand-to-hand combatant. He could throw some good left and right hooks, and he kicked their legs in and just snapped their elbows and stuff. He broke some bones, left some scars and cuts and bruises. So yeah, it was Chuck. Chuck finally decided to get his hands dirty, and boy did he. His knuckles were very bloody by the end of it. So yeah, that power was enough to actually power up Jack too. So by the end of it, Chuck could snap his fingers all he wanted, but nothing would happen because Jack took all of that power in. So before I continue with Jack, I want to talk about Chuck. Unlikely, I know, but Chuck, Chuck's ending, that is interesting to me. I think, because I think it's a nice twist, because I think killing Chuck, would have been anyone's initial guess, because it's how the story has always run for Sam and Dean. Whenever they come across a major villain, like their seasonal villain, they always kind of hatch a plan to stop them and or take them down. But usually it always, because they always fight monsters or powerful beings, so usually their go-to move is to actually kill the being they're fighting. So I think it made sense for their initial plan, or for people's initial kind of theories to be that they have to actually kill God. It won't be enough to stop him. But then with this one, they find out that they don't have to kill God. They don't have to, and even Sam and Dean kind of going as far as to say that Chuck is wrong about them. They're not just killers. They are people at the end of the day. Like killing is what they're good at. They've always been good at killing. They've always been good at killing monsters. It's what they were trained to do, raised by John. But they're not just soulless killing machines deep down. They are people. And what this season kind of like the message that this season pushed forward was that Sam and Dean are fighting for their own lives. They're not fighting to kill someone else. They're fighting to regain their freedom, to regain control, like hands-on control over their own lives. That's what matters to them more than actually taking on God. Like, they could care less whether God dies or not. They just want him to stop controlling their lives. So that's like what Dean meant towards the end. he's not a killing machine. He knows how to kill, but it doesn't mean that, you know, he's always enjoyed it. He's had issues with like stuff like the Mark of Cain and everything that brought out the killer in him a lot more. But again, that was written by God to make him out to be that kind of, you know, machine that just, you know, mows down people in a single swing. So this ending for Chuck, it seems appropriate given the kind of character we've been told now that Chuck is, like, you know, in the season 14 finale, you know, given what we then came to see Chuck was, and even in the build up throughout this season, we saw Chuck going ahead and ahead to actually write his own endings and to write what he thought he wanted, and like to, you know, like have the ending revolve around him to make him out to be the all-powerful being and the all-powerful controller, leaving him to be just another sad old man on the face of the earth is actually, I think it actually feels somewhat appropriate. Like, you know, he is God, he is the Almighty, like he said, but, you know, his main motivation is to make people work for him. He wants people to live stories and live out, you know, lines of dialogue and lines of, you know, action and drama that satisfy him. That is his ending. So to be left basically powerless, because, you know, because as he was punching them, he was, you know, giving out his power. Like like, you know, when he was punching them, it wasn't even regular punches. Like, you know, like celestial beings have more power, so they pack more power in their physical attacks. So when he was punching them and kicking them, he was giving out more and more power, which Jack was then absorbing in the background. So then he handed over basically, I think, all of his power. He handed over basically all of his power to Jack in the end. So then he was left mortal. He was left mortal just like everyone else. So to leave him just like that, so now he can be a writer, he just won't have the power to actually, you know, to actually bring his writing to life in the way that he used to. So I feel like that's an appropriate ending for Chuck. I feel like that is an appropriate ending for Chuck, and he's not dead either. He's not dead. He's just, you know, like Sam and Dean said, he'll just be forgotten. You know, no one will remember him. No one will remember what he did, who he was. You know, he can write all he wants, but nothing will ever come to fruition. He won't be able to do what he used to do. He won't be able to control people's lives again. So I feel like that is a fairly appropriate ending for Chuck. It's an ending that puts Chuck in his place, not just kills him. Killing him would be too easy, would be too kind of classic for Supernatural. But, you know, putting a character like that in their place, you know, putting them in someone else's shoes, putting them in lesser shoes for, like, you know, for that kind of perspective would be more fitting for a character like that, I feel. So yeah, that is Chuck's ending, just being your everyday average Joe. So yeah, the ending for Jack that we got was something I think basically everyone saw coming. He is the new god. Jack is the new. I mean, he didn't officially confirm it, but power wise, I think maybe identity wise, he's not exactly the new god, because even he doesn't choose to call himself that. But I think power wise, he is the new god. He's a living combination of the Infinity Stones. He brought everyone back one snap, and he brought everyone back again. All the other living humans, he brought them back and everything. So he is the new god, and yeah, he even confirmed, you know, he's not going to enforce any kind of religion of his own. He's not going to demand that people bow down to him. He's not going to demand that people do things that satisfy him. He's not going to make humanity sacrifice anyone to him. He's not going to make them write books about him or do anything. He just, you know, it's like, you know, if everyone wants to be, if everyone wants to be the best that they can be, then they can be. You know, he just wants everyone to live happy, fulfilling lives, the freedom that they want. He is the ultimate god in that sense. He wants Sam and Dean to have the freedom that they deserve. He wants humanity to live their lives out in peace without fear of being, you know, exterminated for any reason. So yeah, and he even specified that, you know, he will go forth and help power a universe with the kind of lessons taught to him by Sam and Dean, by Cass, by his mother, by everyone else who's had like a positive impact on his life. So he will go forth being that new god, one that powers a new fruitful universe. So yeah, I mean, I think this glimpse was a teaser. I think that might be what the series finale is, actually showing the new universe that Jack has created. Maybe even a multiverse, if that's going to be a thing. If he's also going to bring the multiverse back. But I mean, this one was a teaser. Like this one was a teaser that showed everyone else is back. Like the world is back. The world's population has returned. All the other random kind of passers-by who had lives taken away from them were returned. So stuff like that has happened. So it's like a rebirth in that sense. But I think the finale might be the reboot. The actual, you know, like a reboot to the universe. like a new leaf for Sam and Dean. It will actually show what kind of life Sam and Dean are living now that, you know, now that they're free to live how they want, and exactly what kind of world Jack has created. Because I'm curious to know that too. Like, what kind of world did Jack create? Did he create one without monsters? Did he create a world without hunting? Because now we know the hunting throughout all these seasons was only there because Chuck made it so. Chuck made Sam and Dean hunt all these different monsters, kill all these different beings, lose all these people in their lives. You know, Chuck made that happen. So did Jack create the kind of world where they actually wouldn't need to hunt anymore? Because they adapted to it over time because they were raised into it as kids. They adapted to it, but they never wanted that life for either of them. They wanted to avenge their mother, but they never wanted to actually keep having to discover all these new beings and keep having to fight these different fights. So, is that the kind of world Jack's created for them? Like, can Sam and Dean just retire from hunting, or, you know, live in a world of because I think that kind of ending for Supernatural, I think I think that brings up a mixed bag of feelings because it's always been a show about two hunters. It's always been a show about two brothers who hunt monsters and face all these different threats. But then ending it on an episode where ending it in a way that they now live in a world without any of that kind of stuff. I think it depends on how they pull it off. If they pull it off as if nothing happened, then it would be, I think that would raise some issues because then that would be almost like just erasing everything that ever happened and treating as if, you know, it never happened, and then just, you know, creating like a whole new slate. But if they pull it off right and show that this is a new life for them, one in which they also remember what they used to do, but now they're happier with the ending that they got, that they deserved, the one that they fought for, then I think that would actually work. Then, like, a world like that would actually work. And I think again, like, this is the teaser where he brought everyone else back, but then the finale will show that, you know, hopefully he brought everyone else back too. Like, he brought Bobby and Jodie and Charlie back. You know, I don't know. I don't know how far he would go in trying to bring back the dead. Would he bring back Mary and John? Would he bring back the family? Would he bring back all of the Winchesters? Would he bring them all back? Would he bring back Adam? Would he bring back Eileen and Mary and John and Bobby and Castiel? Would he bring Cass back? Because I don't know about that. Because again, if I don't know, because Castiel's sacrifice was such a big moment in this season alone, and in the story as a whole. So I don't know if bringing him back would like somehow erase that, or if it would just. I mean, again, if they pull it off right, if they pretend none of that ever happened, then it would be a problem. But then if they actually reference it right and actually show that it's a new lease on life, Sam and Dean explain to people that, you know, they were erased by God, but then this new God, this new kid, brought them all back so that they could actually finally live lives that they wanted, then it might just work. It might just work, and I think it would be a perfect way to actually end the season, to end the series even. So yeah, I don't know. I do not know. It's a tricky pickle. It's a tricky pickle, but yeah, Jack. You know, I feel like, you know, Jack's upbringing would also, again, like he directly explained that his upbringing would impact the way that he actually went on to power this new world. He wouldn't do any writing. He wouldn't create people's stories for them. He'd leave. That is one of his kind of one of his tenets, that he would actually, you know, allow people to live the way they want to live and to be the best version of themselves of their own accord. So then, yeah, he's been, you know, since he's been born, he's been raised by Sam and Dean and Cass. So they've kind of raised him with their own understanding of the world and stuff, and especially pop culture, So, I mean, I don't think he's going to bring pop culture into his way of doing things, but, you know, like, one of the first things we saw him doing was watching Clone Wars. He was watching Star Wars Clone Wars. So I wonder if any of the teachings of the Jedi might come into this, like if he might make Star Wars more canon in this, or if I think, is it called Jediism or the Force? I think. Let me actually look that up. I don't know what the actual religion is called. I'm gonna see what the Jediism. Yeah. So it's not like an actual religion, but it is the philosophy, you know, depicted in Star Wars. Jediism. If he might bring Jediism into canon in the supernatural universe, I mean, he's not going to demand that people become Jedi's. But if all of the information he's gathered over the years he's been living, over the time he's been living, all the information, all the philosophies, all the metaphors, all the different ideas and like life ideals, like, you know, stuff like loyalty, compassion, heroism, all the stuff that Sam and Dean and Cass have taught him, if he uses that to actually, forge a new way of life across the universe and stuff. I don't know, but it would be cool. It would be cool. I mean, yeah, again, it would be cool to see just how much he might try and impact the universe beyond just bringing it back. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Jack is the new god. Jack is the new godly god. Our baby boy is so grown up. He started off being a Nephilim, and now he went from being a Nephilim to a powerless Nephilim to God. To becoming the new god. That is a hell of a power move. That is a hell of a power move. But yeah, that is the main cause for concern, because I think I think they kind of pushed the idea of a finale into this episode a little bit more than they needed to, maybe. But then I think at the same time it does also work as like a tease for what's to come for the official series finale, like how they actually end off the story, what they show us, how Sam and Dean are doing. Because again, the final shot was not just a montage of them, because I think like the final shot was meant to be a montage of where they're at now compared to all the things they went through, where they came from, but it was also them, like that shot of them riding off into the sunset. That's the kind of thing you'd expect for an actual series finale, not like a penultimate episode. So it makes me wonder what they've got in store for the actual series finale, if it's gonna be an episode or some kind of documentary about Supernatural and how far it's come. But I don't know. I guess we just have to wait and see. If it feels weird, I'm not gonna deny that. If it feels weird, it definitely feels weird, like some kind of catch or some kind of other punchline they're waiting to pull off. But it feels weird, but some stuff I actually understand. Some stuff I kind of understand, or at least I'm trying to understand. But yeah, it feels like a weird finale. It feels like a weird finale, but I guess we will see. We will see. But Jack being the new god is something I think most people saw coming. Like, Jack being the newest powerful being, him being the new one, and him being the one most likely to garner that new power by the end of the season. So yeah, we just have to wait and see. But yeah, no. Again, I mentioned in the reaction. I mentioned it again. I think the easiest part of pulling off this episode was the fact that COVID was happening. So the only people within close proximity would be the cast and the crew of Supernatural. Wherever they needed to film, it was easy with like lockdown orders and procedure protocols in place. It was easy to like not have passers-by nearby because everyone else would have to be at home or somewhere. So like that kind of like COVID happening, like a near world-ending pandemic happening, made it really easy to pull off the whole world-ending kind of situation that Chuck threw them into. So I feel like, I wonder if that was actually something that they actually made possible because of COVID, because obviously the season was cut short. Like they weren't even, because like usually shows like this they actually write as they go along. Like they don't finish writing the season before they actually finish shooting the season. So it's like it all happens within like a very, very compact kind of time. So I wonder what their original plan would have been if not for COVID. Like if they still would have managed to pull off like that kind of scenery where everyone else is gone, it's only Sam and Dean and Jack left, and they have to fight to survive in that kind of world. So I wonder if like the finale, if the final 7 episodes were adapted to the more or the more freedom they got from having more time to prepare a finale because of COVID, and what the original story would have been like. But this was super convenient. This was super duper convenient. But yeah, that is all I've got. That is all I've got from this episode. I feel like I could come up with more, but again, watching stuff like this, it makes me, it means I need time to actually process what's happening and to actually think more about things. So yeah, it was a fun episode. It was a good episode. Again, a weird kind of finale, or like a weird ending for this kind of season. But I think this kind of leads into what we could get in the final episode, and what the new story might actually be. All about freedom for Sam and Dean, but also hopefully the ones around them too. So I'm hoping that like next time, like in the final episode, like we actually get like a proper glimpse at the new world Jack has helped to resurrect, and what that means for the people of Supernatural, because the people of Supernatural are more than just Sam and Dean. So I'm curious to see what they kind of work to pull off in that too. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully, it's gonna be a banger. But that will be the end of it. That will be the end of Supernatural. So no more Supernatural after that. But I did put a tweet out on Twitter. I did post a tweet out on Twitter. Where else but Twitter? The link to my Twitter is down below, so anytime I kind of make those kinds of announcements or notifications, you can follow me on there to see them. But I have picked out a show to react to after Supernatural. Once it finishes, I will have a free slot, and I have also already put in a new show similar to Supernatural, to watch, to enjoy. So hopefully that's going to be a fun experience too. But before that happens, we still have one episode left to go, so let's all wait patiently for that finale to come by too. But yeah, that is it. That is all I've got from this one. So that was Supernatural, season 15, episode 9, Inherit the Earth, which they did. They did inherit the Earth by the beginning. Is there anything else I'm missing? Is there anything else I am missing? Well, I think their goodbye. I think their goodbye. One thing I just remembered. I think their goodbye to Jack was fairly emotional. Like like Dean immediately assuming that he would just go back and that he'd just go back with them to the bunker and have burgers and beer and it would be like good old times again. But Jack, knowing that now he's the most powerful being in existence, he knows that comes with its own set of responsibilities on his shoulders, and he's adapted to that. He's matured in that way. He knows that he can't just go back to the way things were. He's got like a whole new sense of duty to him now that he's the new god. So that goodbye scene was somewhat emotional. It was somewhat emotional. Them like being like like Sam actually being like, okay, see you, Jack. Take care of yourself, buddy. And I mean, he said that he's gonna be everywhere. He is gonna be everywhere in every speck of dust and every drop of rain and everything that ever was and ever will be. He will be in all of them. So he's like the Force. He's like the Force. He's in everything. Like one giant clump of midichlorians, but. No, but he's gonna be everywhere. He said that he said that he will be everywhere. He will be wherever people need him to be at any time. So even if Sam and Dean ever want to have him around for burgers and a beer and whatever, he will be there. He will be there. But people won't need to pray for him. They won't need to devote anything to him. They just need to live their best lives and do that just to be their best version of themselves. So like that ending for Jack too. That ending for Jack too seems somewhat fitting given the context. But yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool seeing how far Jack's come. It's cool seeing the development of Jack like through story and drama and action to see how far he's come from being like the Nephilim / Lucifer's kid to now being the new god. So yeah, it's cool. But that is definitely all I've got. So that was Supernatural, season 15, episode 19, the season finale. So onwards to the series finale next week. But yeah, that is it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Supernatural in the series finale. What your favorite moments were, all of that kind of stuff. Once again, if you guys want to catch the full length reaction for this episode, that will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys for the next one. See you guys next time.